Okay, we are on YouTube. Shabbat Shalom. It's so nice to see all of you this morning. And we are going to begin. If you have a prayer book, it's page 186. Moda ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam shehechezarta binishmati bechemla rabba emunatecha rabba emunatecha. We are grateful before you, ever living and enduring Creator, who has given us back our souls for another day in your belief in us. For those who are wearing a talit this morning, since we can't hug each other, putting on a talit is God hugging us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatef b'tzitzit. We are in our homes. Hopefully we are safe in our homes and we can look around and say how good it is that we have a place to be hopefully comfortable and safe. Ma tovu alecha Yaakov, alecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu alecha Yaakov, alecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Vani berov chastecha avovetecha eshachaveh el hechal kodshecha b'yiratecha ma tovu alecha Yaakov alecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael Adonai ahavti me'on betecha umekom mishkan kevodecha v'ani eshachaveh ve'echra'a Evrecha lifnei Adonai osi Ma tovu alecha Yaakov alecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael Vani tefilati lecha Adonai et ratzon Elohim berov chastecha Haneni be'emet yishecha Ma tovu alecha Yaakov alecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. How is your body working today? Well enough that you could get up, well enough that you could get on the computer. Let us be grateful for what our bodies can do. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom, you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware, we would lack the strength to stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength. Baruch atah Adonai, rofeh chol basar, umafli la'asot. And finally, our souls. Our souls are inside of us, whatever that means, animating our bodies, making us able to think and feel and use our bodies. Elohai neshama shenatata b'tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata b'tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata Tehora, tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. And now we praise God with Psalm 150, hallelujah. I think we're going to use the Leonard Cohen hallelujah today because I like it. Hallelujah bekodsho, hallelujah birkia uzo, hallelujah bigvorotav. Hallelujah, kerov good lo, hallelujah, beteka shofar, hallelujah, benevel vechinor, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah betov umachol, hallelujah b'minim ve'ugav, hallelujah b'tziltzalei shama. Hallelujah b'tziltzalei trua, kol haneshama tehallelujah, kol haneshama tehallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. We continue with the call to worship, the Baruch Hu. I invite you, if you choose and if you're able, to rise. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach, hamevorach leolam vaed. Hamivorach, hamivorach, le'olam va'ed. Let's be seated. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy, you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness, you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, Adonai. In wisdom, you formed them all, filling the earth with your creatures. Be praised, Adonai, our God, for the excellent work of your hands and for the lights you created. May they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we all may swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer hameorot. Before the service, we were talking about rebellion and when people have felt rebellious. And Deborah, this is the reading that you brought up, where in one moment you can change your whole life. Once or twice in a lifetime, a man or woman may choose a radical leaving, having heard Lech Lecha, go forth. God disturbs us toward our destiny by hard events and by freedom's now urgent voice, which explode and confirm who we are. We don't like leaving, but God loves becoming. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. We continue with the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Please read responsively with me. The eternal truth is that you alone are God, and there is none else. May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore. You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart. The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor? Asks God. We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy. Praise to God Most High. Blessed is God and deserving of blessing. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. שירה חדשה שבחו גאולים, לשמך לשפת הים. יחד כולם הודו והמלכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. To Israel, Kuma Bezrat Israel, Ufdechinu Mecha, Yehuda veYisrael. Go'aleinu Adonai Tzevaot Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. We have come to the tefillah. I will invite you, if you choose and if you're able to, please rise. Adonai Sefatai tiftach ufi tehillatcha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו, לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ, כבודו. אדיר, אדירנו, אדוני, אדוננו, מה אדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני, ממקומו אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, בשבחך אלוהינו מפינו, לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Let's be seated. The holiness of the day. Those who keep Shabbat by calling it a delight will rejoice in your realm. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei, mekadeshei shavi Shabbat. Kulam yisbeu v'yitangu metuvecha Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. V'hashvi'i ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat. Chemdad yamim oto karata Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Zecher l'maseh, l'maseh v'reshit Shabbat. Zecher l'maseh, l'maseh v'reshit Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai, our God, Grant us your holy Shabbat as a heritage. May Israel, who sanctifies your name, rest on Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. And in the Hebrew, 5 lines up from the bottom is V'taher libenu le'ovdecha be'emet. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. V'taher libenu, v'taher libenu, v'taher libenu le'ovdecha be'emet. V'taher libenu, v'taher libenu, v'taher libenu le'ovdecha be'emet. Yalalai, 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 yalalai. Hey, yalalai, la, 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 yalalai, la, la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. V'taher libenu, v'taher libenu, v'taher libenu lehovdecha be'emet. And now we come to Modim, our prayer of gratitude. And so I invite you now, if you have something that you're grateful for this morning, you can put it into the chat. And you can also, if you choose to, unmute yourself to share something that you're grateful for today. So I will begin by saying I'm so grateful for all of you who are here right now and all who were here for B'yachad earlier and for the wonderful stories that everyone told. Who else has something that they are grateful for this morning? Please unmute yourself if you have something you'd like to say. Anybody? Emma Tattenbaum-Fine says she's grateful for the health of her parents. Modim anachnu lach, grateful for the people in our lives who are healthy, absolutely. Freema.
I am grateful that Larry's here with me and that we made it through another week.
So grateful that her son Larry is with her and that we made it through another week. Modim anachnu lach for sure. Naz says he is grateful for Grandpa Matt, and Bill and Joni are grateful that Naz graduated from pre-K yesterday. Mazal tov, Naz. Modim anachnu lach. Ellen Rothstein says she is grateful for Marine Park, a place where she's comfortable getting together with people, appropriately socially distanced, I am sure. So Modima Nachnu Lach for outdoor places where we can be with people. Susan Sisler says grateful for B'yachad and also for getting her hair cut. So last night during the service when we were doing Modim, when we were doing our gratitude last night, like the minute it was possible to get a haircut, it was like 5 of you had haircuts. Like at the service last night, there were like 5 people who had their haircuts. So Modim anachnu lach for being able to do some of these routine things that we haven't been able to do for months. Deanna Roth says, thank you. She's grateful that Eric Platt gave her the link for the American Jewish Archives and the history of Jewish African-American relations. That's very important stuff. So Modim anachnu lach for that. Anybody else? Who else? You can unmute yourself if you have something to add. Deborah Davies says, grateful for having Shabbat dinner with friends last night, the first proper meal she's shared in over 3 months. Again, Modim anachnu lach, we are learning to appreciate the small things that perhaps we took for granted before the pandemic. That, you know, being together with people, being able to share a meal, being able to get our hair done, all of these things that are, normal things, but not anymore. Phyllis and Ron Schweiger say they are grateful for haircuts and good health. I feel like everyone but me got a haircut. Modim anachnu lach. All right, anybody else? I am grateful that my daughter Shoshi, who was in 10th grade this year, has finished her year, and she was very successful even with the move to online school. And so I'm grateful that she has finished 10th grade, and she is now free for the summer. I'm also grateful that we are able to go away. We're going to be going away in a week, and we'll be gone for 2 weeks, and we'll have a lot of uh, we're going to be out in nature, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, Modim anachnu lach. Hannah Roth Sivi is grateful for Biyachad, for this service, and for the green of the country. Modim anachnu lach. Robert is grateful for online learning, as am I. Modim anachnu lach. Sarah Neely is grateful that Susan is back home after a hospital admission for pneumonia. So grateful for returning to health. Ellen Rothstein is grateful that Susan Handwerker had successful surgery. I spoke to Susan the other day. Modim anachnu lach for that. Again, being able to return to health after being ill. So for all of these things, we are grateful. We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. And we continue with our prayer for peace. We pray for peace in our homes, peace in our souls and spirits, peace in our city, our country, and our world. Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. Ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la la la. Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. Baruch atah Adonai hamivarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. And now we continue quietly. If you can see the screen, there are words on the screen. If you have a prayer book, there are words on pages 260 and 261, but we can always use the words in our own hearts. We continue quietly. יהיו לרצונים רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך. יהיו לרצונים רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri ve'goali. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri ve'goali. יהיו לרצונים רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך. יהיו לרצונים רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri ve'goali. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri ve'goali. May the words of our mouths and the meditations in our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O God, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. We turn now to our Torah portion for this week. This week's Torah portion is Korach, as I mentioned before. I've got my tikkun. It is big, it is heavy. And I'm going to read from the beginning of the Torah portion, which is Numbers chapter 16, verse 1. Vayikach Korach ben Yitzhar ben Kehat ben Levi Vedatan be'aviram b'nei Eliav ve'avon ben Pelet ben b'nei Ruven Vayakumu lifnei Moshe va'anashim mibnei Yisrael Chamishim u'matayim nisiei eda kriei moed anshe Shem vayikalu al Moshe ve'al Aharon ויאמרו עליהם רב לכם כי כל העדה כולם קדושים ובתוכם אדוני ומדוע תתנשאו al kahal Adonai. Korach, son of Yitzhar, son of Kohat, son of Levi, separated himself with Datan and Aviram, sons of Eliab, and On, son of Pelet, the offspring of Reuben. They stood before Moses with 250 men from the people of Israel, leaders of the assembly, those summoned for meeting, men of renown. They gathered together against Moses and Aaron and said to them, "It is too much for you, for the entire assembly, all of them, are holy and God is among them. Why do you exalt yourselves over the congregation of Adonai?" So that's the beginning of Korach Korach's rebellion. And it seems like if you believe that the Torah is a number of traditions that come together, which tends to be the Reform movement position, that there's two different rebellion traditions here, and one is Korach and one is Datan and Aviram. And there's a couple of little confusing things where it seems like, Korach makes a sacrifice with his fire pan and it is consumed by fire together with the 250 other men who are making sacrifices of incense on their fire pans, which is something that Moses commands them to do, and they're all consumed by fire. But then also the earth opens up and swallows the tents and the families of Korach and Datan and Aviram. So how Korach can be both swallowed up by the earth and consumed by fire, I am not sure, but that's not really what I want to talk about today. So what I want to talk about today is the fire pans. So what Moses tells Korach and the 250 men, who, by the way, were important people, they were the upper stratum of society. They were leaders. They were not nobodies. Not that anybody is a nobody. You know what I mean. But they were important people. So this is a very serious kind of rebellion. And so Moses says to them, take your fire pans and, put incense on them and do an incense sacrifice, and we'll see what happens. And they all get consumed by fire from God. But then we get to this spot where God speaks to Moses and says, say to Eleazar, son of Aaron, the high priest, that they should pick the fire pans out of the fire because they have become holy. So even though the rebels is the word, even though the rebels were doing something that wasn't so good, or that wasn't good at all, and they got consumed by fire, the fire pans then become holy objects. So I want to know if anybody has any thoughts about that, or about what should happen to the fire pans after that. Maybe you already know what happens to them. I know what happens to them. But what do you think should happen with these fire pans that are now holy objects? Does anybody have any thoughts about that? And it's okay if you don't know what happens to them. You don't have to. This isn't like, do you know what happens next? This is, what would you think? You can unmute yourself if you want to talk. No? Nobody? No thoughts? Freema's like, I got nothing. Okay. All right. So I'll tell you what happens to the fire pans. What happens to the fire pans is that they hammer them flat into plating that then gets put onto the side of the altar. So what they do is they don't keep them in the form that they were in for the rebellion, but they remain in the holy place, because a fire pan that you use to make a sacrifice to God becomes holy. It just apparently does. And so I feel like there is perhaps a comparison that can be made. And my friend, Rabbi Michael Bernstein, actually sort of implied this comparison in a Devar Torah that he wrote this week, is what do you do when part of your history is rebellion and not good rebellion? What do you do? Do you put up statues of the heroes of the rebellion? Do you take down those statues? Did they erase history by hammering the fire pans into plating that they put on the altar? I don't think that they did, because history doesn't reside in statues. History doesn't reside, sometimes history resides in objects, but it certainly doesn't reside in statues. History resides in books. It resides in memories. It resides in in teaching, in what we teach to each other. And so you don't have to preserve the fire pans as fire pans. We have the memory of the rebellion. So Ellen says, not sure how these pans are holy since they are the vehicles of death. I could sign on to thinking of them as a warning or teaching device of what not to do. So I feel like that is hard to understand. It's hard to understand the idea that something becomes holy. But I think what we need to remember is holiness in the Torah is, I think, neither positive nor negative. It just is, and it means separated. It means apart. So it means like set apart. So when the fire pans become holy, it's because they were in contact with the fire of God. So I guess you can think of them as vehicles of death because it was the act of making the sacrifice. But the problem wasn't the fire pans. The problem was, it's actually kind of like what Nadav and Avihu did, right? The sons of Aaron who were also consumed by fire. They made a sacrifice that was not commanded of them. And so these are folks, the Levites, who aren't priests. So and so Moses is like, if you think that you can be priests, go ahead and make a sacrifice. See what happens. And what happens is they die because they are not priests. And if you're not a priest, you can't give a sacrifice. However, they had that moment, and maybe this was not entirely negative for them. Yes, they died, but they had that moment of being in contact with God. And that's what makes the fire pans holy. And actually, that's something I've never thought of before. It's a new revelation. This idea that, if we want to feel not so negative toward Korach and his friends, which usually I'm perfectly fine feeling quite negative toward them. They didn't handle it well, but what they wanted was to be able to be close to God. And in that moment, as they died, they got that. And so maybe they were willing to die for it. Maybe they were willing to die in order to have that. I don't know. That only just came to me just now. You do not have to accept it at all. But I think actually it's an interesting kind of thought. And I think we do sometimes see people giving their lives for a moment of something that's really more important to them than being alive. And in this case, it's being close to God. So thank you so much for that question, Ellen, because it took me in a direction I've never gone before with Korach. I definitely think we should preserve our lives and we should not give up our lives, even for a moment of ecstasy or closeness to God or anything like that. But at the same time, let us have the courage to rebel when it feels really important to do so. And I feel like Korach and his band were selfish. They wanted something for themselves and they were not concerned with the greater good. Moses and Aaron were concerned with the greater good, even in the midst of this terrible, terrible experience they were having, where a group of their own leaders, turned against them. And then God gets angry and says, I'm going to destroy this whole people. And right in this moment, when they are being betrayed by Korach and his followers, and the rest of the Israelites are just standing around watching and are not standing up for Moses and Aaron, at that moment, in the middle of all of this stuff, they turn to God and they say, no, please do not kill all of them. Should everyone be held responsible for the actions of a few? And that's leadership. Standing up for your people even when they are in the middle of not appreciating you. And that is why they're the leaders and Korach isn't, because Korach was out to get something for himself. And maybe he got it. But he also was not fit to be the leader of the Israelites. And so, anyway, may we all aspire to work for the common good, rebel when we need to, and when it is for the common good, and bring more holiness and goodness into the world. Amen. We turn our thoughts now to those among us and those in our hearts who are ill and who are in need of healing of body, of mind, or of spirit. If you have names that you have not sent to me, you can put them in the chat to have them added for the Misha Berach. I'll also give you an opportunity to add names out loud. We hold in our thoughts and in our prayers for healing this morning, Evelyn Urbano, Jesse Sakharoff, Ronnie Turek, Ira Weiss, Elaine Drucker, Alan Fremer, Susan Bilecki, Nathan Aaron Robbins, Andrew Mazzella, Jeffrey Levinson, Michael Scott Landisberg, Michael Luck, Alana Beth Berger, Shelley Oken, Louise Dankberg, Jane Berman, Harry Bower, Ronald Resnick, Barry Strumpf, Selma Carl, Linda Kushner Silverman, Sarah West, Susan Handwerker, Diane Figueroa. Charlotte Russell adds Barry Strumpf and Selma Carl. Oh, they were also on the other list. Linda Horowitz adds Sandy Alfont, Irene Nashinoff, and Esther Batlusi. Lori Pandolfo adds Jacqueline Halpern. Jesse Schulman adds Orville Degener, Ellen Hoyt, and Ron Burke. Pam Glansman adds Andy Glansman and Deanna and Ira Roth. Patricia Matthews adds Elena Aram, Chanel Kamabach, Warren Feliz, Jimmy Jenkins, Peter Gale, Paul Kastick, and Melissa Herrera Kastick. Sam and Fran Silverman add Vicky Lightnaker, Eddie DeAngelis, Nettie Trommer, Dave Moore, and Mia Gannon. Freema Schneier adds Elaine Gordet, Ellie Heinrich, Phyllis O'Neill, Sherry Rolnick, Marcy Babayatsky, Shirley Amrani, and Perry Frankel. Susan Sisler adds Dolores Weinberger, Ingrid Grosso, Roberta Gotthelf, Audrey Cohen, and Fran Sisler. Stan Hollander adds John Carfisi, Francis O'Haron, and Orlando Aiello. Harold and Jane Gleiberman adds Suzanne Leknos and Florence Schoen. Hannah Roth-Seavey adds Joellen Fox. Linda Feller adds Annie Nusimovici, Michelle Nusimovici, and Kimberly Finnegan. Sarah Rothstein adds Arnie Rothstein. Linda Kushner Silverman adds Jackson Kushner, Tara Kushner, Shelley Samet, David Gershon, and Stanley Tenen. Ellen Rothstein adds Rebecca Rothstein and Bambi Polk. Diane Schenker adds Bert Migdal. Ruth Belay adds Liz Yasuda, Park Shing Lam, Richard Zagame, Mark Steiner, Paul Steiner, Elizabeth Steiner, Patty and Erwin Cohen, and Monica Beyer. Mona Goldberg adds Anna Flores, Marlene Unterberger, Francis Bergman, Delphine Wolf, Freya Kashmir, Michelle Boudin, and Barbara Dembar. Helene Smith adds Barbara Magid. Jan Hutner and Richard Miller add Darren Brewer and Renee Ponset. Joel Moss adds Ted Galertner. Hazel Tishkoff adds Sue-Ann Fishkin-Hurwitz, Susan Shuro, Nina Moynester, and Della Cohen. Does anyone else have names to add? You can unmute yourself. Teddy?
Don't know the woman's name, but yesterday on our morning walk, there was a woman crying on the bench, and Girlie went to ask her everything okay, and she showed us her leg had been mangled by a dog, and they called an ambulance. So Girlie stayed with her, and I walked this at the Nethermead, walked over to the road to wave down the ambulance, and it did show up. So I just hope that she's okay. And later on that same day, a rollerblader got kind of sideswiped by a bike and fell on his back. And I helped him up, and he said he was okay, except that he fell down 2 steps later. And I stayed with him until Parks Department truck came by, and they told me that they'd stay with him until the ambulance came. Those are 2 people I don't know. And now the third one is childhood friend of my daughter was written up in Vanity Fair. She's a funeral director. And she was just talking about the 18-hour days, 20-hour days in the funeral homes, and how self-quarantine, not seeing her son's first steps or her daughter's birthday parties, bodies being dumped on them by the hospitals with the tubes still in them, having to make these bodies, these people, presentable to their families. So I really feel for you, Kanye, and all the other funeral workers trying to make it through this too.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Teddy. Yes, we pray for healing for the people whose names we don't even know, who you helped, and for the funeral directors whose workload has increased exponentially during this time. And yes, absolutely. Thank you. Freema, do you have names to add?
Rita and David Cohen and Sherry Ronick and Maria.
Riva.
Reva and David Cohen and Sherry Ronick and could come more. She's doing okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Freema. Anybody else have names they would like to add? If you'd like to unmute. Anyone? Durley, do you have names? Or were you saying hi?
This is Misha Vera.
My girlfriend Elena, that we worked for the past 17 years, her mother fell down and she was hysterical. She's 87 years old. For the first time I saw her, they came to visit yesterday. I made her favorite food. And seeing her, it's like seeing my mother, who is 24 years. She passed, today is like 24 years. That was such a great feeling for me to see my girlfriend's mother feeling so great. So I'm thankful for that.
Okay. Thank you. Sarah Neely adds Jose Ben Susan. Does anyone else have someone to add for Misha Berach? Okay, we also include all of those who are currently suffering from COVID-19, those who are suffering from the measures we've taken to mitigate the spread of the virus, those who have been hurt in the protests, those who have been hurt in disasters, both natural and human created anywhere in the world. Misha berach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We continue now with the Aleinu, looking toward a day when the world will be at peace and we will all be united. I invite you to rise if you choose and if you're able. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגבהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו echad. Let's be seated. We turn our thoughts now to those who are no longer with us, our loved ones who have died in the past days or weeks or months, or in past years at this time of the year. If you have names to add for the mourner's Kaddish that you haven't already sent to me, please put them in the chat, and I'll also give you an opportunity to say them aloud. We remember those who have died in the past year. Dr. Stephen Kamholtz, Robert Serpico, Jeanette Riley, Melvin Barash, William Lamp, Martin Shankin, Solomon Tettelbaum, Sean Singer, Jeff Harris, Sammy Berger, Rabbi Kenneth Roseman, Chaim Braunzweig, Harry Baylor, Ben Schaefer, Shirley Hyatt Tobias, Myron Klein, Ted Tobias, Sandy Gannon Abel, David Ribler, Bess Newman, Buzz Lorch, Benjamin Binyamin Elwood, Edward Albino, Joseph Davis, Jerry Charin, Gary Zeitlin, Sean Devlin, David Levy, Lenny Drucker, Beverly Tredinick, Evelyn Pincus, Rita Spiro, Beatrice B.J. Jacobs, Melvin Jurgrau, Gloria Katzen, Lorraine Elner, Amanda Corwin, Mel Paul, Nigel Grant, Benjamin Resnick, Robin Silverman, Jeanette Zarrow, Claire Strauss. Ellen Rothstein is remembering Selma Gold, Jeff Harris, Helen Polk, Sheila Katan, Dr. Mark Leibowitz, Dr. Tina Polk, Dr. Austin Schlecker. Ruth and John Belay are remembering Rita Belay and Howard Jankelowitz. Jane and Harold Gleiberman are remembering Arthur Roski and Carol Andre. Mara Minsky and Mike Wadman are remembering Sally Wadman. Eric Platt is remembering Abby Sheck. Deborah Davies is remembering Tauba Haight. On our yahrzeit list this week are, among many others, are Fran Silverman's brother, Abe Adler, Jane Gleiberman's father, Morris Dabrowski, Lenny Drucker's father, Elaine Drucker's father-in-law, Martin Drucker, Lori Pandolfo's cousin, Carolyn Fields, Freema Schneier's stepmother, Jenny Gelb, Ruth Levine's grandmother, Sarah Greenwald, Judge Milton Platt's father-in-law, Morris Leuterstein, Diane Schenker's father, Harry Migdal, Linda Horowitz's aunt, Aunt Betty Rose, Heather Schwartz's father, Barry Schloss, Gerard Sofian's mother, Pauline Sofian, and Jennifer Tattenbaum's father, Donald Tattenbaum. Hannah Roth Seavey is including Larry Kramer. Doreen Aronow is including Jason Dworkin. Myra Tattenbaum is remembering Donald William Tattenbaum. Hannah Roth Seavey is remembering Wynn Handman. And I mentioned Deborah's. Does anyone have any other names they would like to share? Teddy and Durley?
My mother's name is Cherylis Adelson. Today is her anniversary of death. She died 24 years ago. And I have to say my mother was a chef. She loves to cook. And today I had no idea what to cook on her day. So I want to say God is for her this morning.
Thank you, Durley. Freema?
On Monday is the English anniversary of my husband, Leonard Schneier, 24 years. The yahrzeit is next Saturday, but he died on June 29th in the English part.
Thank you. Anybody else have a name to add? I'd like to remember my grandmother, Mary Hoover, who died earlier in June, but I haven't said the Kaddish for her yet this month. Anyone else? Okay. We also include all of those who have died from COVID-19 around the world, those who have died in violence in our own country, those who have died for other reasons, whether in war or famine or terror or disaster, or alone and homeless on our city streets. I invite you to participate in the Mourner's Kaddish according to your own custom. If you don't have your own custom with regard to the Kaddish, I invite you to rise if you're able, and if you choose to, and join in. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, b'agala u'v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar, v'yitalev, v'yithalal shemei dekudasha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, dam yiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and all of the bereaved wherever you may be. And let us say together, Amen. Let's be seated. Oseh shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael, amen. A few announcements. I don't think that Eric is here, so I will go ahead and do announcements. So on Tuesday at 1 p.m. is Torah study led by Sam Silverman. I think he's getting about 30 people a week these days, and they're studying Josephus, the works of Josephus, and I hear that it is a rollicking good time. Is that right, Susan? Susan is nodding yes. It's a good time. So if you would like to go, you can contact Sam Silverman if you have his contact information, and if you don't, just call the office and they can put you in touch with Sam so that you can get on his list and go to his and zoom into his Torah study. Next Friday evening, we will have services at 8 o'clock as usual. There is going to be a change to how you send in your Misha Berach and your Mourner's Kaddish names. You have been sending them to me, but I am leaving on vacation next Saturday, July 4th, and I will be gone for 2 weeks. And so starting this week, you should send your names instead to Alice in the office, alice@bashert.org. And when I send out the message this week that has the links, it will have 3 weeks worth of links in it, so that for my whole vacation, you'll have all the links. Next Saturday morning, Rabbi Pinsky is going to take over leading both B'Yachad, so B'Yachad will still happen, and also the Saturday morning service. She is going to be leading Saturday morning services and B'Yachad for the month of July. On the Friday nights that I am gone, I want to say the 10th and the 17th, services will be led by Robin Bass and Diane Figueroa, together with our cantorial soloist, Noni Schuster-Donato. So I will send you all the links you need for 3 weeks this week. And I'll just say it again because it's important. Misha Berach names, prayers for healing names, and Mourner's Kaddish names send to the office. And the deadline is a little earlier. I usually give you until 5:30 on Fridays. Alice is not in the office that late, so I think by noon on Fridays is what she said, but it'll all be in the email, which will perhaps go out on Wednesday this week instead of Thursday to give you a little extra time. So that's kind of the big thing that's coming, but B'Yachad and services will continue every week. I think that's it for right now. Does anybody have anything that I forgot, or anything that you would like to announce? Anyone? Going once, going twice? Okie doke. So let's close our service. We sang this last night and it was very nice. So I feel like we could sing it again, which is Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Peace will yet come upon us. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, 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 aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha Shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine on you and be gracious to you. May God lift God's face toward you and give you peace. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.